Hey everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the Southwest Entrepreneurs Podcast, the out-of-state version of the Nevada Entrepreneurs Podcast. We are here at this awesome BBB office in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm here with my guest and yesterday's event sponsor, Níko Arapkiles of the Vision Espresso Mental Health and Wellness Coaching. Níko, what inspired you to start Vision Espresso, and what are your biggest long-term goals out of it?
Oh, you're hitting me with my questions right on the jump, huh?
Yeah, you're asking me. I'm gonna ask you too, dude.
I love it, man. This is where the magic of life is deep, meaningful conversation. So
1,000%.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Got it, dude.
Like we were just talking about on my podcast. It was really fun to just start getting to know each other more, and came and spoke at your event. I appreciate you having me on and allowing me to share my message with your people. Means a lot, man.
No,
that's a big focus of mine and big mission that we have, with Vision Espresso.
Yeah. And I can see that you've got a powerful mission going. You've got some really good people on your team already. I mean, there's people like Mary, there's people like the others in your call, that the calls I've been on, your awesome coaching calls. Like, I make sure that at 11 a.m. Pacific, noon Arizona time, every Wednesday and Friday, I'm on with Jeremy and then on with you for your calls, because they're both powerful, and I really feel something after each call, and I learn things, and that's what I want to be doing if I'm going to spend an hour on calls, because I'm going to be honest, most of the time I'm not a big fan of being on coaching calls. I just want to get out and do other work, but when it's you guys doing it, I'm like, okay, there's going to be something powerful, profound, and impact that's going to come out of this. And now I'm like, yeah, this is 1,000% going to be worth my time. I'm going to pick some things up from it. And you guys do a solid job with your calls, like each of them on Wednesday and Friday. So I really appreciate you guys doing that.
Yeah, of course, man. Glad to have you on. And that's what makes it, right? The people, like we talked about, it's like, this is a relationship business. And as the world evolves more and more, it's like people are craving connection. People are craving people in community.
Yeah. People are just getting sick of like overload of AI. I think like there's so many AI videos on social media now, like the goat that pushed the lion off the cliff and all this crazy stuff that looks, it's crazy. It looks real, but you're like, okay, come on. You can, if you really look hard at it, you can tell it's an AI. And I'm just like sick of that. And then also just, there were so many people that were like just embracing not socializing. I feel like that COVID era could have changed a lot, dude. Because when that happened, where people were told to stay away from each other, stay inside, and businesses were complying with that BS, and I had it twice. I never got vaccinated. I don't regret it at all. But the whole thing with just the shutdowns and whatnot, and it's just the isolation of stuff. I just feel like that's where people just it crossed a line with a lot of them, and they're like, screw this. I am not going to sit around my house anymore. I'm not taking this for granted anymore. Like you said, we crave connection, and I feel like we crave it more than ever after all that stuff that happened, and then all the political tension that happened around just the change of administrations and just everything combined in 2020 and 2021. We want to be around people who are talking more about business, not talking about their politics. We want to be around people that, have a lot of agreements with us on our beliefs based in business and based in serving others. Whatever disagreements we have on other things outside of that, just keep that stuff on the back burner, because when it comes time to focus on the collaboration and the partnerships and the growth and the friendships, you got to just focus on who aligns with you. And then whoever doesn't, just don't invite them back, or just, maybe block them. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but too bad. Because it's just, there's givers out there like ourselves and the people we deal with, and there's takers. And, I don't want takers in the circle. You don't either, because what takers do is they drain energy. And they drain energy because you're trying to be such a giver, and then they're just taking advantage of you. So Vision Espresso, how long ago did you start it?
I mean, it's probably been a lifelong project.
But the actual business with the name.
Yeah. We started 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. We launched it out from my podcast, actually.
Nice.
And, you know, I was building out this cool community and had really no idea what I was doing with it. It was a mountain idea on top of Angel's Landing in Zion National Park. God was like, yo.
That's a perfect spot.
Start a podcast. I was like, what do you mean? So we did it and it grew quick. You know, we had 200 people at our third event. And I was like,
yeah,
maybe we should monetize this or turn it into a business or something. And, you know, I've always been into personal development. My mom, shout out my mom. She's the GOAT.
Yeah, awesome.
She really instilled that stuff into me early. And I played baseball through college. Our senior year of high school, we were highly touted to win the state title. And I put so much pressure on myself that I developed something called the yips, which basically means that you can't do normal plays that you did the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
So I couldn't even make a throw across a diamond when that was just like second nature to me before that.
Okay.
And I realized had nothing to do with my physicality. It had everything to do with my mental. So I was like, how can I've discovered now how to use my mind in a very powerfully negative direction. How do I use it in a powerful positive direction? So I got deep into this work, and visualization is a huge component because our mind cannot differentiate what is real and what is vividly imagined. They've done a lot of different studies on this, even like with basketball players. They'll have them imagine shooting free throws versus the guys that are shooting free throws, and they'll improve the same amount.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to like not only visualize but also feel it, right? Feel it in your body. And I came to understand really how that worked. And I would visualize seeing myself hitting home runs off the 7 of the scoreboard. Last inning, first pitch. It's so specific, and that stuff would happen. And like full body chills when that would happen. But I was kind of like, oh, I'm just cool because I did this. But I knew like at the end of the day, it was far bigger than baseball. So I applied that to my business career next, went from sleeping on a futon in my mom's office to working with a $100 million brand. And it was interesting because we'd be on those team meetings with these, you know, legendary business owners, and they'd be talking all about this stuff. And I was just like, well, if this stuff is so important, like, why is there no system for this? Why? It's imperative, right? And so I was like, okay, I'll put my entrepreneur hat on and solve a problem. So I went out there and I was like, how can we systematically, predictably, and consistently utilize our mind to help us go and create the life that we want to live? And so that's when Vision Espresso was born, because I knew the power of visualization, but it was challenging for me. I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but like I would do it, but I wouldn't be consistent at it. And so I was like, how could I create something that allows it to be so much easier to be consistent with visualizing the life that you want, and not only visualizing it, but feeling it in my body too. So that's really where it came from. And I started putting together the audio tracks that we now have like fully AI-ified. But it's crazy. Like a week after I made my first one, I 3x my income. Relationship came in right away. Like all sorts of like bigger ticket clients started coming in. Like my first client he now owns a $100 million law firm marketing agency. And I'm just like, what had just happened? And then, you know, we've had clients that have done very similar work, and, you know, it's just been powerful. We work with over 400 people now. We've been doing it for 5 years. And I'm just constantly working to bridge the gap between the woo and the do. Like, it's been these two worlds that don't really merge that well. Everyone's, you know, there's one side that says, hey, you just got to be focused, just got to do business stuff. There's the other side, just go meditate all day. And it's like, I think we get lost in the extremes. You get burnt out when it's in the extremes of business, and you get bored when it's in the extreme of the woo. So it's like merging these, because when we're got the woo and the do, it's kind of like chopping a tree with a sharp axe as opposed to a dull axe. Like, you're not going to not do the work. It's just more efficient when you have a sharp axe.
The tool you use matters. And then what you're saying earlier about the visualization part and practicing the shots, that reminds me a lot of what Tim Grover was teaching Michael Jordan. And he was such a great mental coach for a guy like that's why he won all those NBA titles in the 90s. It was big part because of Tim's like mental coaching. And when professional athletes like him, and it was also Kobe Bryant, hire mental coaches like that, it makes such a big difference. So it sounds like you're doing something or you're working on something similar to that with Vision Espresso. For those that don't know, what is the quiz that people do to learn more about themselves and what could be holding them back that Vision Espresso provides?
Yeah, I mean, I struggled with clarity so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just scatterbrained. Like, after I finished baseball, I was just like, what do I want to do? Like, who am I? Like, what's important? I had no idea. I didn't even know how to ask these questions, and I certainly didn't know how to answer them.
Yeah.
And I think, like, the more I talk with entrepreneurs, yes, business owners, yes, but also just, like, the general population.
Yeah.
We're all kind of just, like, struggling on what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's this parable that you saw as you went through the Vision Espresso process that really hit me hard when I heard it first. But it's this parable about this guy sitting on the fence. And the devil comes up to him and he says, which side are you going to pick? One side is heaven and one side is hell. The guy's like, I don't know. I'm still deciding. I haven't chose yet. And the devil's like, cool, I'll be back in a few minutes. You can let me know. Devil leaves, comes back. And the guy's like, I still don't know. Devil's like, which side? And the guy's like, I haven't decided. And Devil's, cool, come with me. And the guy said, well, what do you mean? What are you talking? I told you I haven't decided. And the devil's like, yeah, exactly. The fence is mine. And they even talk about this in the Bible, right? You don't want to be double-minded. That's the tool of the devil. And so many people are sitting with indecisiveness, with hesitation, and it's just ruining and plaguing their life.
Yeah.
And I know this because that's been my life in the past. There's still times that I have challenges with it, but it's like the more that we can be decisive and choose the life that we want to live rather than reacting to what life is throwing at us, the more that the magic just opens up.
Mm-hmm.
And
proactive over reactive.
Yeah, and it's about being proactive with the questions that you ask.
Yeah.
Clarity is not like this epiphany that just comes to you. You create clarity through the questions you ask and the process that you go through. Yeah. So to answer your question, the vision quiz is just, we've formulated it into a science and delivered it in an AI GPT so that you don't have to be waffling back and forth all the time on the fence, hanging out with the devil. And you can more so just figure out and start figuring out. It's like, it's a continual lifelong process. You'll gain clarity, but then there's going to be a new level and a new step that you're going to be taking. So you're never going to be done, but it's so important to be intentional, to be focused on what you want to build and what you want to create and who you want to be every single day. And it's interesting because it's like, Vision Espresso, it's vision, right? Yep. But it is vision. And I think that's almost like a benefactor of clarity, decisiveness, focus, and intention. Because it's like, who do you want to show up as today? Like, I asked it last night, like, hey, what was your guys' intentions? And so it's like, when you live intentionally, nothing is random. That's when like crazy stuff starts happening in my life. It just comes from being intentional. Yeah. And so that comes from the questions that you ask. So we give a score at the end. You'll see like how clear you are or where you can improve. And then it'll actually help you improve that clarity within the 20 minutes. We've had people increase their clarity in up to 108% in less than 20 minutes. Just through that quiz. And then that's just like the first part of the Vision Espresso, because then once you get some of that clarity, then you go through our full process that you went through, and you'll get your audio back here soon that you'll be able to listen to every single day. I'm
looking forward to that big time. No, thank you. Yeah. And it's such a great name too. Getting clear on your vision. It all starts with your morning routine, right? The morning is where the foundation gets set for the day. So if you're waking up early and getting after it with your workouts and your meditations and other things, great. Now you've got your day off to an amazing start and you feel more clarity, even if you only got 4 hours of sleep the night before. But if you are starting it sluggish and having junk in the morning, you didn't exercise, and your attitude is bad, well, then the rest of the day is going to suck for you, dude. So that's why programs like yours, and then like what Jeremy talks about, soul science, and then our other friends and other health and wellness professions together, that's why these people do what they do. They really genuinely do. You all genuinely want to help people be their most optimal best selves, and I applaud you for that.
Thank you, man. I mean, it's not even like becoming your best self. It's simply like returning back and remembering. Yeah, I mean, that's who we are. That's what God created us to be, abundant, joy-filled human beings. And the only thing that's stopping us from that is this dumb stories that's going on in our head that was planted in at an early age, and then it becomes the default that you continually tell yourself.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about this with Aldo on our podcast yesterday. He said he had a real difficult time asking for help. And I told him on the show that relates a lot to the call you had a couple weeks ago about how and I said this to him, I'm like, if you don't ask for help, you're not only hurting yourself, you're depriving other people of the opportunity to be their best selves and serve you back. And that one seemed to really hit him pretty hard. And I'm like, yeah, man, I know it's tough. I know we all have that pride in ourselves, and we're conditioned not to ask for help. And, we're conditioned not to speak up about certain things from our upbringings because we worry we'll get made fun of or something. But I mean, is it really worth the stress and hurting yourself? I don't think so.
Especially men, like we're supposed to like be able to figure it out. And like, that's our skill set. That's our asset.
Yeah.
But just like what you said, and I think it was Craig that spoke about that on the call, and it hit me hard because I've generally in the past been one to have the same things of challenges, asking for support and asking for help. I love giving, right? And it was really powerful to hear that.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, like I honestly, it would be really interesting to ask, hey, just do a survey of like all the people, the census.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy helping?
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet, I should say, that there's not going to be too many people that are like, nah.
Yeah, I was going to say around 90%, at least.
And if that's the case, like people genuinely enjoy helping, and you don't give them the opportunity to do that, then like you're depriving them.
Yeah, they want to feel purposeful, and they definitely want to feel fulfilled. And the best way to do that is by just giving them the opportunity. So absolutely, man. And then where do you get the most gratification when it comes to Vision Espresso? Like what moments of people's lives, like what wins that they have, do you feel the most gratification for doing what you do?
Great question. Just like what you said is like, there's a lot, and a lot of them in different ways too.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say at the core of it, what's really powerful is just seeing the shift. Because especially like people go through the process, and that's cool. And we've had people that have, had a lot of results just by going through that process. Because it's just the law of physics, really, is when you speak, that's God's model of creation, right? He spoke, and the heavens and the earth were created.
Yeah.
Right? Abracadabra, it's translated to in Hebrew, as I speak, I create. Our words are so powerful.
Okay.
And our words are indicative of what our thoughts are. And we have about 50 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Most of them are the same. So it's like if we can be intentional with our words, then that changes everything. And then if you do it like we showed you guys in the process, speak it with power, speak it with conviction, speak it with enthusiasm. Like it elevates your energy, and it brings more fuel to those words.
Oh yeah.
And so like going through that process, that the GPT helps you like really get clear on your vision and how you want to show up, your intentionality, your focus, everything that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And then you speak that out into the app with power, with conviction, with enthusiasm, with excitement, with joy.
Yeah.
Like that is commanding out to the world what you want. It's like, you got the menu, and you're like, all right, boom, I'm ordering that.
Yeah.
And then it comes back your way.
Yeah.
On top of that is that you hear your audio in your voice, so you have less resistance around if it's someone else that's telling you all these things, but your future self is telling it to you, the person that cares about you the most in the entire planet.
Yeah.
So like we've had people that have had great results.
Yep.
Business wise, we've had someone that 5x their business in 30 days after going through the process. We've had people that like his big thing was he wanted a penthouse apartment in Dallas with a green couch.
Okay.
And he made the testimonial from the green.
Very specific there.
Very specific. He made the testimonial from that green couch in his Dallas penthouse. So I was like, that's cool and all, for sure. Like, and those are
manifestation,
very sexy testimonials that can help with business. But like, it's really the shift of them kind of being at like this, transitory place where they're like, oh, I'm not sure I want, I don't know. And then all of a sudden they're like, boom, oh, I want this. All right, I'm on and it's not even just like the wanting of these things. It's just like how they're showing up now.
Mm-hmm.
And then especially like once we show them their audio, like it would have been hilarious if we would have actually tracked this, but like the phrase is coming, like the crying ratio.
Oh, geez.
Because I would say it's probably around like 65 to 70% of the people that hear their audio for the first time are in tears.
Oh, my.
And
wow.
That's really cool because it's like people don't have that experience much at all.
Yeah.
So it really is that shift. And, even if it's just small, it's really cool. I remember we even developed a product that was like a very small version of this that we could make even more scalable. We're actually not selling it anymore.
Okay.
But it was like someone that found me on YouTube, didn't know him at all. He went through our process, and then like he just had this like, I could just tell like he was just sharper on the second call, and
oh, nice.
It was just really cool to see that shift. And I think like I keep asking myself like, what if the entire world, like let's just say hypothetically, the entire world all woke up to their Vision Espresso, like what would actually happen to this world?
Dude, could you imagine?
So,
I don't know if we can imagine that. No, I mean, really let that sink in. If everybody woke up to their Vision Espresso, you would be seeing less reactive people out there. Like not as much of the honking and road rage and social media outrage and people arguing with each other in the comments that don't know each other and all this stuff people do today. That would change dramatically. And then how about how many less homeless people there'd be on the streets? How about how many more of our veterans that are homeless would be getting the care they need? You could go down this rabbit hole pretty far if you think about if everybody did their Vision Espresso. Imagine how less corrupt our government would be. I mean, Jesus, dude, what you just said right there was like a freaking meteorite to my brain, dude. Because I'm like, I'm struggling to even imagine that because what we're so used to is a world of so many people that get power and then they abuse it. But if you imagine a grounded world where people actually dig into their Vision Espresso and they, realize their potential selves, how many more people would have communities of, like farm communities, like where it's like for example, the, what's the name of it? My friend Amadon owns it. It's the Eco Village, just outside of Tucson. Okay. So that's what he and the guys do. They have this big community of a couple hundred people. They eat their own homegrown food, and it's this large property with like multiple acres, all these animals. They even have 4 emus there. And yeah, I mean, it's like it's self-sufficient. Imagine how much more self-sufficiency there would be. Dude, what you just said was not something small. That's a big freaking deal if like we all dug into our Vision Espresso worldwide. That's just crazy to think about, man. Because, I mean, I'm just, like I said, I'm not used to that idea. But if it is possible, if people would all do that, and if it ever did happen in our lifetimes, holy crap, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, yes, the vision, that's the vision.
Yeah. So your vision is to get as many people around the globe into their Vision Espresso. And, it starts with few, then they spread the word, and they spread the word. It's a ripple effect. As long as you keep running this website and keep running things the way you've been doing it and don't stop, then the momentum is only going to go up from here, man. I mean, of course, I'll promote it. And, of course, other people like Dave, shout out to Wicked Awesome Events.
Shout it out.
Yeah. This is
Wicked Awesome.
Yeah. Dave Waltza. So that was our collaborator last night. Great guy. But yeah, I mean, that'll create a real ripple effect, even if only 10% of the world look into their Vision Espresso. 10% of America. I mean, think about that. Even that's a ripple effect. So that's an amazing long-term goal you have, man. I love that.
Thank you,
appreciate people like you, dude. No, seriously. So how long ago did you get involved with the Arizona entrepreneurs community? Because I had seen you at their events and, I had seen you talk to Jeremy, seen your face, but we didn't really talk too much as we were always talking with other people. How long have you been involved in the AZE community?
Well, I'm proud to say that I'm one of the OGs.
That's what I mean. That's so like you're been around the whole 5 years, or?
Yeah, I came to the first event. Like I met Devin through my roommate at the time, and my roommate had put together a little dinner, and then Devin was there. We got on a call. Devin, we even had some conversation about, like, I had put one of my trainings in there. I had a speed reading and retention program that I think he put in there at some point.
Nice.
But yeah, it was cool. Like the first event that was free at Schmooze, I was like, this is cool, and it's free. I was like, damn. And then he started charging. I was like, oh.
He told me he did the first 2 for free because he wanted to just get people in the room. Because I was asking him before starting Nevada Entrepreneurs, I'm like, how did you do it when you started out? Did you like just charge like $10 or something? He's like, no, I did the first 2 for free. And then I talked to Jeremy a bit about it. He's like, yeah, you know what? If you want to charge, go ahead, just make it reasonable. And I had other guys say, oh, no, you have to charge. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. First one will make it $29, okay? And that's what we did, and it got a lot of people in the door that way. The point is, that's how I got started. Now, for free events, I am planning on some, but here's the deal. Vendor pop-up nights. So the vendors would pay $50 a table to sell their products, but the public could come for free. And that's a good way to help more small businesses get more of their products sold. We just have like 20 tables. I know some good spaces in Vegas for this. I'm trying to think of some spots in Phoenix for this, but get like 10 to 20 vendors that each pay, a reasonable amount, like 50, so that we make sure that they can sell more than it costs the table. And then we just get people come in, like the public, say, hey, we've got jewelry and health supplements and all this stuff for sale. I would be putting all their logos on the flyer, and I'd be tagging them all in the caption so people can look them up. And I just think that's important when you can give your sponsors and vendors as much shout out as you can on social media, because then it gives people a chance to look them up and follow them and support them outside of your event. That's why I stress the importance of having sponsors on your podcast, about allowing them to have a vendor table and offering that and allowing them to have some guests come in free, like up to 3, and the next event for free to attend, because it's my way of saying thank you, but it's also like, that's what I would want if I was a sponsor. If I was paying $500 a sponsor, I would want as much of that as possible. So I'm like, well, if that's what I would want, then that's what I got to give. That's just, if you want that, then you got to be the facilitator yourself. You can't just expect to be a taker or, just, oh, I would want that, but I'm not going to offer that. No. Don't be hypocritical. Offer your sponsors and people that pay for your events that type of stuff. That's just my 2 cents.
I like it, man. And just like what you said earlier, it's like you build this so that you can have like partnerships on the back end. I think that's really the model, and that's what everything is moving towards. It's like, I know some of these other events that like they don't even charge for tickets, but they have a whole vendors village that everyone's paying for on that. And like and it's cool because it's like the vendors are the ones that are actually receiving the most value because they're generating clients. And so it just creates a better ecosystem because there's more people there that were excited. Like the vendors are happy because, if they have a good product and everything, then they're making money. The event's making money because of the sponsors, the people it brings in more people, and it just creates a better ecosystem. So I think that's where everything's moving. And if you're smart on the back end, like that's where you're really monetizing. So that's where the bigger deals come from.
Yeah, and I don't know how I didn't think of it till recently, the vendor pop-up nights, but it's like, if people wonder why it's free, well, it's like, yeah, there were costs for us, but the vendors took care of that. So, Níko, this was awesome. Thank you for being on this episode. Where can they find you on social media and website links, anything like that?
Yeah, first place is always to start at the Vision Quiz. You can go to visionespresso.co.
Okay.
CO. So it's Vision Espresso, no X. Some people get that a little mixed up.
Okay.
Just like the coffee, visionespresso.co. You can also check us out at our school community. You were mentioning we have our Friday calls. That's a good place to come and see what the community is all about. And then just my socials is my first and last, NIKOARAPKILES.
All right. And any last message before we wrap this up that you want to share with the people viewing?
The thing that always comes to me when people ask that question is just be kind. Like really, you mentioned Amber, and we got to give a shout out to her, and she's got her GoFundMe. So if we could put that in the links too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for reminder.
But it's just like, dude, I had no idea. I heard some little thing about that, but at the same time, dude, there's this really cool group I'm in that's based out of Austin, and there's some dude that came to the event and was like crushing, and then he committed suicide recently. Oh. And I think it's interesting because I think this is starting to become more prevalent as AI is really disrupting so much. And so I think if not now, when? But like when it like we all really need, like, we're humans first, and I think it's important for us to remind ourselves of that. And we're all in this journey together, and everyone's going through something that nobody knows, but it all feels the same to everybody. So be kind to someone, tell them how you feel, like
even
give
a
them compliments,
saying hi,
smile.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. And I know that for me, because there's like certain people in my life when I was having rough days, they made a point to like recognize that, dap me up, say what up, like just elevate my energy. Yeah. And it made all the difference.
Well, there's one more question for an event. If somebody's energy looks down and off, ask them if they're okay. It might be really hard for them to open up, but if you say, are you sure? We can talk about it. That could really help their chances of opening up. That you show that you're sincere, you're genuine, because they might not be, and you might have saved their life by doing that. So that's a pretty real, powerful thing you just brought up, and I appreciate you bringing that up because, we need to really bring the suicide epidemic down. It's bad. So again, thank you, Níko, for being on this, and yes, we'll put Amber's GoFundMe link in the comments, the description. And shout out to Amber DeBruin. She has been a solid asset to these events. She has spoken at 3 of them before, really educates on health and wellness and functional medicine. I don't want to have to see her go back and forth between Canada. I just want her to stay here so she can continue to pour into the community like she always does. So appreciate her, and thank you for bringing that up. I'll put that link in. And thank you all for viewing the show. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.